Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Daily Dose of Gaming News and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Yesterday, I did manage to do a live stream. I managed to wrap up everything that I want to wrap up in terms of standard order so we can proceed with the story there. And I did manage in the meantime to edit the, oh my God, to edit the VOD and then upload for YouTube. Again, I'm assuming when everything is caught up in terms of VODs, I will be able to publish the VOD the next day after doing the live stream, so everything kind of goes kind of in sync there. But yeah, and earlier today, I did manage to publish a VOD. Um, if I will try to stream today, and I will eventually also do another VOD publishing from past live streams there. Again, it's what I'm trying to do here is after I do the live stream next day, we'll have a VOD ready, given that I usually do the live streams late at night. But yeah, I will try to keep it up the best that I can there. I'm expecting this weekend the VODs will be caught up with the live streams, or at least kind of in sync there, and I will go from there. In terms of gaming news programs, I will resume Monday, so I don't do anything on the weekends. We'll try to focus more on live stream if possible. Other than that, again, as usual, again. Given that again this is a hobby for me, so every time I have some time I will dedicate it to the channel, but again pretty hectic lately, so got that to deal with. Let's go for some news. Keeping up kind of with one of the themes recently regarding memory prices and the fact that there is a huge demand on RAM, HBM memory modules, and all that jazz. We saw a few days ago or weeks ago regarding the new Google TurboQuant algorithm that supposedly reduce drastically around about 6%, 6 times in terms of memory requirements for the workloads in AI. But yeah, we got still it's the fact that it dipped a little bit in terms of RAM prices. Again, it was very short term. Again, overall, I think we are kind of in a bubble. Let's say again, there are several factors that again really do contribute for these high prices and the supposedly high demands in terms of the AI thing. Uh, Again, even though we all know that it's basically not AI, it's algorithms and machine learning. But yeah, other than that, it seems that the prices, as it is, given that I've been covering some new announcements in terms of new factories to produce high-end chips and memory stuff there from SQ Hynix, and also from I think Samsung was going to uh, entering in a project to build more memory modules. Then I got also the terafab stuff there for the kind of more the CPU GPU side of things there. But again, this will only be completed and working working in production from 2 years from now. So it's not immediate fix, let's say, for the demands of the market. Um, we'll see how the situation will go until that point in time reaches. Again, I'm not sure if this is going to continue to be sustainable, especially for companies that basically they need to buy this hardware at a very high prices, and then after they acquire this hardware, they basically need to monetize it, or else it's just putting money in a black hole, which to a certain degree it is. And then you got these companies like OpenAI doing like shady stuff, from trying to acquire production manufacturing pipeline from certain for as many companies that they can, so they can sustain the business model. But again, it's not something that they paid for in advance, or there is contracts. It's just word of mouth. To basically what it does, it creates a cycle of, okay, OpenAI needs this amount of production of memory and chips and whatever it is, so it means that there is seems to be a huge demand, and then the factories need to try and put their production pipeline dedicated for this company, supposedly for the next foreseeable future, which means that they can, because there is this demand from this company, they can increase a little bit the price, because they will say, okay, we got a limited amount of units, memory, chips that we can make per month. So we have to increase because we're going to dedicate this pipeline to you. And that will eventually also increase for other people that want the same thing. Then again, because everything is increased in price, again, at the end, it's the final consumer that will eventually pay for this. And the fact that also, again, when they try to reserve this kind of production pipeline, again, uh, it's not binding in any way. It's just basically word of mouth. So it creates this kind of speculation kind of a thing there. Again, it's not healthy in the long term, because again, when you just speculate, you just create a false sense of a demand of the market itself, to try and raise the value of the company itself, because there is a huge demand for this company to do an expected something, whatever it is. In this case, OpenAI is they are expected to do more AI stuff there, and to create new and better algorithms, and that creates this vicious cycle regarding basically the final price. And again, then all the companies need to monetize their hardware or software, to the point that they need to compensate the fact that they invested that money. Again, then we enter this kind of circle jerk of just looping around, and usually that's how you create basically a bubble on an industry. Is just word of mouth, trying to raise by word of mouth things, so, and create false expectations to a certain degree. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this will go. But yeah, it seems that the price is not going to go down, because again, basically how this thing will work out, which is basically the fact that even if everybody starts using something like an optimization of something similar to this algorithm from the Google, the TurboQuant, you will see the demand of the fact that you can save up to 6 times. It means that you can introduce more instructions to take into account the savings of that memory, to be used on each and every input of that saving there. So you will continue to see the demand of the fact that they will try to monetize the saving space there, to introduce more operations per cycle, let's say. Instead of just demanding one task, you can basically do to, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 demands, task demands at the same time, to try and optimize the savings of that RAM, instead of just again, instead of just not needing that much RAM, they will take advantage of trying to brute force more tasks because they save some space there. Usually that's how it works. That's at least the prediction from this CFO from SQ Hynix. So we'll have to wait and see how this will go. Again, I think we'll reach a critical point. At least that's the sense that I get from covering this. Again, by the end of the year, we'll see something turning around. Not only because it will might reach a critical mass that again, companies cannot even have the means to get some raw materials to manufacture the chips there, because how things are very constrained, specifically in the Strait of Hormuz. Again, people focus a little bit on the petroleum, but then got all the derivatives from oil. Some of them are needed for high-end chip manufacturing, from helium to sulfuric acid and other things. Again, I don't remember on the top of my head, but there are a lot of stuff that comes from the petrochemical industry that is very needed and essential to manufacture these chips. And at this moment, between I think a quarter to a third of these raw materials or the materials that are needed to produce these high-end chips are not reaching where they need to reach to. So I'm not sure how this will go. I think throughout this year we'll see some changes in this industry. But changing to a little bit more the gaming side of things, we got another article coming from the Shuhei Yoshida interview. I think this kind of basically the same interview, but in this article they're trying to tackle a little bit a different topic here. This is regarding the PC ports from PlayStation first-party games specifically. And again, Shuhei Yoshida, he was fired from Jim Ryan. I think when Jim Ryan reached to the CEO of PlayStation, I think there was kind of a shift on how they wanted to do things. I think there was more turn to games as a service kind of a thing there, which I think he blew a hole on PlayStation. Um, I think 10 games in 5 years as game as a service. They were basically starting to compete themselves. Then I think seven of them were canceled, something like that. They only launched basically Concord and a couple of others. Again, I don't remember the names. But yeah, I think I always thought the fact that having PC ports of PlayStation first party games was something good for PlayStation to accrue a little bit more money. One of the main reasons is the fact that in the last, as Yoshida said, in the last at least 5 years or so, there's been a huge rise in terms of production cost on the games themselves, specifically on the AAA side of things. Um, and again, to try and recoup some money invested on those games, again, not all games are going to sell enough to justify the production cost there. I always thought that the PC ports, again, not day one PC ports. I understand that because again, you want to a certain degree maintain the hardware ecosystem around PlayStation, how they work, so they don't lose hardware sales, because the hardware sales is where you hook the client in for the services, in this case the games there, plus PlayStation Plus and all those things. But I always thought that PlayStation PC ports of at least first party games might serve as a dual benefit for them, by at least having like a launch window, let's say 1 year. I think it's might be a good sweet spot there for them when they launched a game on PlayStation. You give it kind of a year or so, and then you launch a PC port to try and recoup some of the money there, or get extra money so you can invest on other games. Because again, usually if people are dedicated, let's say people like me, I played console games for a lot of years, but when I shifted to PC, so I never owned a console ever more since then. Again, you will not, even though some games I would like to play on when they launch on console, I will not, I cannot justify to myself just buying a console for a potential game that will come out to that platform. Um, and I prefer not to play that game because I cannot justify myself financially to just have a piece of hardware just to play a potential game that I want to play there. Um, I think it's good in the sense that at least you know that PC players very unlikely will buy a piece of hardware to play a couple of games, a couple of good games that are more directed to them. So at least you give to those players the fact that you have a good game, or I think you have a good game. To the PC players, they will buy the game full price. You get that money, and potentially, if you have a good enough library of PC ports, you might even entice some of the PC players to buy a console, so they can have access day one when the game is launched, and don't have to wait, for example, a year, 2 years until this game comes to PC. I think it's good because again, the fact that you have PlayStation, because people that will have a PlayStation, if a console is good enough, I don't think people will leave it just to play the ports on PC. Again, you already have the console. It's just a matter that you know that you have at least you can play that game for a year without worrying to go to any other, let's say, platforms. In this case, PC. again, I don't understand the fear that now. I think it was started with the Ghost of Yotei and Saros that's going to launch soon. Supposedly, they are not going to have any PC port. Again, uh, I'm not interested enough, for example, in this case of getting to play Ghost of Yotei or Saros to buy a PlayStation just to buy a to play a couple of games there. Nobody, I don't think, unless you have huge amounts of money that you can spend on the hobby there. I don't see anybody just because now they don't do PC ports, they will just now buy a PlayStation because they want to play a couple of games there. I think people will have, given the vast variety of choice that you have on the PC platform to play games. I think they're missing the boat there. Again, I don't think that people will stop buying PlayStations. Again, if you have this kind of sweet spot, like between 1 to 2 years on these first party games to come to the PC platform, again, it's extra money because to a certain degree, I think the 1 year is preferable to 2 years because again, I don't think also that people will pay full price for the 2 years games. Again, people don't see the value on that. But if you wait, I don't know, around about a year, you can justify basically having a full priced game, so you can't make money out of it. But yeah, it's a topic that creates a lot of discussion. Um, but yeah, I think that they can find a way of balancing this out, and make some money and at least justify which I think it's one thing they should lower down all across the board in the gaming industry is trying to arrange a way to diminish the production costs there. Again, I don't think the best solution or the one tool fits all solution for this will be just putting AI on it. I think there are ways to balancing out the production costs of a AAA because again, you have excellent games from the indie sphere and they have way less production budgets for the games that they are doing. But yeah, I will continue to cover this as best as I can. Then yesterday we got some more news regarding Xbox. There was a memorandum or a manifesto, let's say, from the CEO Asha Sharma, and also in conjunction with Matt Booty. Again, some things seem to be again, this is corporate talk. Again, you have to always take this with a grain of salt. Some statements are a little bit dubious. You don't know exactly what they are trying to do, but they seem to be telling the right thing. My overall take is take it with a grain of salt and hopefully they are going in the right direction. And again, if it seems that this lady is open to feedback from everybody. Again, when you deliver feedback, it's not a matter of delivering only positive feedback. You just deliver feedback in a proper way, so they can have a better idea what to expect or what players expect from them in terms of what they can deliver as a value for players. I don't think just insulting people and saying that they're not good at the job doesn't pass the message that you are thinking. I think constructive feedback is better served. Being constructive, positive, or negative feedback is the best way to go about it. As long as it's constructive, and people that are doing these decisions can understand really what the players want, and or in this case, what they usually refer to as not players as customers or clients. Again. We need to pass constructive, given that if it is positive or negative feedback to them. Some interesting tidbits here that I flagged here regarding the fact that they have supposedly around 500 million players around the world. Again, they in certain ways they can identify the problems here. Again, but if you can take it with a grain of salt, again, it's easy to say that players are frustrated. Again, everybody knows that. But then we got some other stuff here that I'm not sure if it is the right broad direction, which saying that they think their presence on PC isn't strong enough. I think it's good enough, but again, I think they have to cater to Microsoft to a certain degree. Again, Microsoft Windows, they have to cater to their whatever mandates. And it says at least there is a recognition that pricing is getting harder for people to keep up with, and core experiences like search, discover, social personalization still feel too fragmented. Again, I don't know. I'm not in the Xbox ecosystem. Developers and publishers are asking for more, too, better tools, better insights, and a platform that helps them grow faster. Again, I'm not sure if the core experience that people are expecting is the social aspect of that. I'm not sure exactly what personalization means. Social discovery, okay, but search and discovery, we kind of guess what it is. But social and personalization, I don't know what they mean by that. Again, they don't identify what they say here. But yeah, I'm not sure if I think it's more about having a good hardware and having good games on that hardware platform. I think it's what mostly people want there. They also say that more players are also choosing subscription and services as the primary way to play, with expectations centered around instant access, ongoing value, and libraries that evolve continuously. Again, the fact that people at this moment are choosing subscription services as their primary way to play is because the fact that the prices are, again, as they said, identified here, pricing is getting harder for people to keep up with. And because supposedly the subscription service offers a better value in terms of money at the end of the day, that's why they are going for subscription to the service. Again, I'm not sure if they're identifying the fact that people are turning into subscriptions because at the end of the month is cheaper for them to have that subscription active than to just buy I don't know, 80 $120 if you want to access some of the all the features of the supposedly game. I think it's cheaper to divide that $100 per year, or at least for 6 months, and play more games out of it. That's why people are not keeping up with it. Um, then she at least identified that the model that got us here won't be the one that takes us forward. She's right again, even though there is some problems here. There has to be other ways to go about how to move forward. Again, I think it's right here that console is at the foundation, delivering a premium experience, and then cloud brings that experience to any device. Again, they are focusing a little too much on cloud stuff there. Again, we already had kind of a experience with Google Stadia. Again, I think cloud services can be good for some games, but for more action-oriented games, people don't have a good experience, mainly because of lag issues. But yeah, whatever. Then Xbox will be bid to be affordable, personal, and open. Again, I don't know what personal and open means here in one context. And supposedly the experience will adapt to you, letting you customize how you play. Again, this has to do with the Xbox Game Pass. Then again, I'm not sure that this is the best metric here, which is our new North Star will be daily active users. Then they go about kind of bullet points here regarding their priorities: hardware, content, experience, and services. In terms of hardware, again, deliver Project Helix to lead in performance and play our console and PC games. Again, I think they just stick with what PlayStation does, which is just focus on the PC, on your platform, and then you can do the PC ports, or have a team, or have a couple of studios dedicated just to PC ports. I think it's a better distribution of workloads there, because if the development team is focused just creating the game that is specific for Xbox, and then you have several external tools like PlayStation has or had Nixes. I don't know which, and no, Bluepoint was the one that shut down. Like a Nixes studio, when they can do some good PC ports there, specialize on that. I think it's the best distribution of the work there. But yeah, leading comfortable personal high-end accessories, again, is one of those things that also gets them when people are on that ecosystem to make some money there. In terms of content, again, one of the things is growing, again, the portfolio of franchises and all that jazz, evolve of third-party partnerships, then expand it to China, emerging markets, and again, mobile-first audiences. Again, I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about it, but okay, maintain and grow the in live games and long-term stewardship. Again, I don't know what they mean by stewardship. Again, it's game as a service basically here. Elevate creative-centric platforms like Minecraft and the such. Again, this is not for me. I don't play these games, but okay. Then in terms of experience, fix the fundamentals for players and partners. I don't know what this means. They are not even identifying what the fundamentals are. Make Xbox the best place for developers and creators to build and grow. Overall discovery, this is part of the most social stuff there. Then in services, again, fortify Game Pass with clear differentiation and sustainable economics. Okay. Return the business to durable growth with strong cost discipline. Again, given that cost discipline is the key word here. Make cloud play feel native, fast and reliable across TV and low cost devices. Again, this is going to be uh, a losing battle to a certain degree, unless everybody has fiber internet access or wherever they are. I think this is not going to be any. It's not going to be feasible. As things are, you have to upgrade the overall infrastructure in terms of internet. Then along the way, we will reevaluate our approach to exclusivity, windowing, and AI, and share more as we learn this side. Again, at least suppose again, don't forget this is corporate talk. They will reevaluate as they go. That's why I always say some constructive feedback is always appreciated, I suppose. Given if it is negative or positive feedback, as long as it's constructive, where you are assertive of what you are expecting, I think it serves best. So they don't have the excuse that everybody's a troll or trying to bully them or whatever it is. Again, um, or you do some constructive feedback, or might as well you keep your mouth shut and vote with your wallet, because or else you're not contributing to the solution of the perceived problem there. But yeah, supposedly they are branding themselves Xbox. There is no Microsoft gaming anymore, supposedly. Let's see how that goes. Again, I think it's trying to cater a little bit for the marketing for the players there, because again nobody likes Microsoft. I think they need to differentiate themselves better, and I think Xbox is the way to go. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this goes. Then you got one of kind of leaks and rumors kind of a thing there pertaining Game Pass stuff. It seems to be having one of the tiers is going to be Game Pass Starter Edition, which is supposedly is bundled with Discord Nitro or Nitro. Again, I don't use Discord, um, but again, it might be interesting for some people. Supposedly, this will have like a few games here and there. You got here a screenshot, supposedly the screenshot of this leaked stuff there. Supposedly, it should be in line if you already have like a uh, uh, Discord subscription service that they have. I don't know, $10 a month or something like that. They will offer like a couple of games here and there. Supposedly a library around about 50 games. It also includes 10 hours of Xbox cloud gaming. Again, this is the part of the streaming service where you can play in all devices. Again, I'm not sure if this is the 10 hours. Again, I think they conflate too much how media is consumed between gaming and, for example, the Netflix service there. Again, 10 hours you can watch, I don't know, five movies, one series, maybe one season of a series. And even that is not enough. Again, I'm not sure this cloud gaming stuff streaming is good as a selling point. But yeah, it seemingly we will have start seeing more and more kind of more boutique or personalized ways of you to subscribe to Game Pass, like a pick and choose kind of a thing there, which I think could be a better way of going about it, because then people will know, okay, if I choose this service and this, I just want this out of what they have to offer, so I just pay for what I get. I don't need to have a bloated service and pay extra for things that I don't want. And at least gives them, if you have like a pick and choose service, at least Xbox will have the direct feedback of what people are choosing to pay, and they will start basically have a better sense of what people don't want by the fact that the people are not selecting that. I think it could be also a good financial feedback for them. Again, I hope they just get this shit together. They launch good hardware. They have good ecosystem inside Xbox, and they can continue to do the PC ports there. Again, I don't demand like first day exclusives coming out to other platforms. I don't think that's the way to go, or you dilute yourself as not being a hardware first ecosystem there. Again, I think wait a few months, maybe a year, to then launch on other platforms. I think it suits best, but I think the urgency of them getting immediately money to demonstrate some growth in terms of sales. That's why they went for first day, not having exclusives basically. Um, We'll have to wait and see how this goes. Then we got also yesterday some Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync stuff. I watched a little bit of the video. I was turned off because again, on the footnote on the video itself, as you can see here, it's a mix of working progress gameplay and in-game cinematics. Again, I don't give a shit about that. If you want to demonstrate something from the game, just put gameplay or most as you can finalize gameplay. Again, they just starting like cutting all over the place between cinematics and the supposedly working progress gameplay. Again, I was a little bit turned off. I don't think that's the best way to demonstrate. Again, they got the announcement here, July the 9th, for every platform basically, and in sale for in every platform, of course, from Ubisoft Store, Steam, and Epic Game Store. Supposedly, they, in terms of what they are doing new in terms of graphic wise, they will add ray traced global illumination and reflections, rebuilding assets designed for micro polygon and physical based rendering pipelines. Okay, again, they built a lot of the assets from the ground up to on this Anvil Atmos system, and then fully modernize water rendering, dynamic weather powered by the Anvil Atmos system. Okay, for consoles doesn't matter. In terms of gameplays, uh, again, I'm not sure about this, but again, as long as it's not interrupting the core features of the game. But supposedly, new officers of Jackdawn with their own abilities, rework island encounters, extra mission, and scenes with Matt Ryan and the original cast. Matt Ryan is the voice actor of. I completely forgot the name of the character there. More ship customization, ship pets, 10 new shanties, rework Kenway's fleet. Yeah, Kenway, it's the name of the thing there. System that is now available on the captain's cabin. In terms of combat, supposedly they have new parry mechanics, new takedowns, a lot of stuff here. Also, some updates on the parkour, gets manual jump side ejects, back ejects, and all that jazz. Naval combat is also updated with secondary weapons. Again, I need to see this to see how it flows in the thing there. But yeah, you got a list here of basically like a bullet points things there of what they are going to introduce. Um, I don't see a lot here in terms of story. If they're going to change anything or not, I heard some rumors they are going to do some updates to the story. I don't know. I don't like the when they update the story of a game again to be more safe or whatever. I see some screenshots that they are not censoring the. It's I don't think it's censored. They are covering up more the characters there. I don't know how that will go. Again, I need to see to have a better idea. And then you got some also some good PC specifications. Again, the maximum one, Extreme, which supposedly is 4K 60 with the Visual Preset Ultra, extended ray tracing, and then upscaler preset. Again, the fact that you have upscaler, you need to achieve. Again, I think if you remove ray tracing stuff there, you can don't need upscaler. I don't know. I'm not sure because even in terms of CPU is not that demanding. So 57X3D, the X3D here, I don't know. Let's see how it goes because even ray tracing is a little bit demanding on the CPU. In terms of GPU, supposedly 4090 or my GPU, which is a 7900 XTX, can get around and play this game at 4K 60 with ray tracing. Again, uh, the Lightning Monday put everything standard ray tracing, so there's this caveat here. And they also use upscaler preset, which is again, it's not good. I don't like seeing this. I prefer to have a native if it is achievable or not. But yeah, even though you got again for the resolution without ray tracing, all this seems to be doable without any problems. The CPU and the GPU. It's just I think they are insisting a little bit on the ray tracing side of things. Then you basically need the upscaler there to reach those 60 frames on 4K. Again, we need to see how this will come out here. In terms of RAM, it seems relatively light, 16 gigabytes and then storage 65 gigabytes of there. And then we got some extra features for the PC things side of things, ray trace global illumination, dynamic resolution support, which is okay, I guess. The upscaler stuff there, dedicated handheld presets, then some other stuff, and cap frame rate in gameplay and cutscenes, which is this is very good. In-game benchmark tools, which is also good for you to tweak around the settings if you need to. AGR ultra wide resolution support. Okay, all seems kind of okay-ish. Let's see. Let's say I don't like is the fact that basically suppose you need upscaler preset. I'm assuming you need it because the supposedly this by default on this visual preset they are assuming standard ray tracing is enabled there. I don't know why. But yeah, and then we got also the Xbox showcase. I would just cover here a couple of stuff that caught my attention. I didn't see the showcase itself. I just went through a site that had all the games announced, and then I just checked the some of the trailers there. Again, we got Vampire Crawlers, the Turbo Wildcard thing. Again, this is card battler, dungeon crawl kind of a thing there. It's a variation of Vampire Survivor or Survivors. Again, it's in now in a dungeon crawl kind of a thing here with the battle cards. Again, I'm not sure it's collectionable or how it works exactly, but again, they seem to be pretty good at this. Again, overall positive feedback already. This came two days ago, and at this moment in time is we got a demo here. Okay, $10 here, give or take. Again, this one seems good. If it is the kind of the same quality of Vampire Survivors, again, can be a little bit addicting there. And they are taking advantage of trying to 3D all the levels, all the powers that you have on the Vampire Survivor, so it's interesting what they're doing here. We've got also more information regarding Luna Abyss. This is kind of bullet hell kind of a puzzler thingy there, if not mistaken. The story seems interesting, what they're trying to do there. And we got a launch date, May 21st of this year, and we got a trailer for that release date. We got also this interesting game, heart-driven exploration puzzle, Lofsong. Again, it seems like a 3D or isometric. Again, I'm not sure. From the trailer, it seems like a third-person kind of a puzzle game there. Seems more artistic in the way they are going about it. Again, seems interesting. Again, and you got also trailer. I like what I saw. I will keep a watch on this game and see when it comes out. And then you got Echo Generation 2. Again, I don't remember seeing Echo Generation 1. Seems interesting the art style that they're going about here, and the fact that I think this turn-based RPG seems interesting what you're trying to do there. Again, I'm not aware of the first game. Must slip under the radar for me. Seems interesting when they try to do some interesting art style and the action that they do there. I think it has cards. I think it's a deck builder also to a certain degree. But yeah, I like what I saw there. Let's see when it comes out. And hopefully, 150 cards here. I don't think it has. May 27. It's the release date there. But yeah, in terms of news, and excuse me for my ramblings here today, I will just wrap up with some gaming deals. We got Atomic Heart still 75% off. We got Bionic Bay, now it's 75% off also. Very positive feedback. We got Blueprints, 34% off. We got Chronos the New Dawn, still on sale, 30% off. We got also Dead Space. All the franchise of Dead Space is on sale, but here this one, the remake, 75% off. I do recommend this game at this price point. The only nitpick that I have is I don't know if they fixed that or not. I made a series out of it, but is the stuttering and some freezes, like a few frames freezes when you open certain doors. I think it's trying to load the level there, and sometimes that has that performance sake. The rest seems good. It's the same feeling when I played the original when it came out. We got also Liza P, 50% off, still on sale. Got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, 75% off. I can recommend this trilogy here. I played it long time ago when it came out. Again, the story still kind of holds up. The combat might feel a little bit dated here and there, but then again, it's a very interesting thing to go about it. And I do recommend, if you never try it out, to take a chance here. We got also Pacific Drive, 50% off on the Whispers edition, which is the last content update that they launched. Then we got Silent Hill Remake, Silent Hill 2 Remake is still on sale, 50% off. And then lastly, we got The Witcher Wild Hunt. Again, 80% off. And I do recommend the complete edition, of course, with the DLCs, Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone. Again, for this game, as usual, first one, I do recommend no mods, unless you want to try out some visual mods only. And then for the other times that you play the game, I don't know, you can start tweaking around with combat modes and gameplay modes. Again, there is a huge variety of what you can do here in terms of modding this game that can change a little bit or improve the experience for you. But yeah, I think the vanilla stuff there, in terms, again, you can, some textures here and there might be good there, but yeah, vanilla at the first game playthrough, the story and the quest and all that jazz, it still holds up to this day. And then again, you can start tweaking around with mods. That's my recommendation here. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here for today with the plug on my Patreon as usual. Again, I don't do anything exclusive here. It's just a channel for people to have an opportunity to do some extra support if they want to. But yeah, I usually plug this one at the end of the videos. Other than that, I will try to later on publish another VOD, try to do some live stream also, and I will keep that on because it's the best. It's what I can do with my free time at this moment in time. But yeah, other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.